and welcome back to this week's Talk of the Town podcast. Every week, we're bringing you valuable insight and information that directly affects our local business community. I'm Danielle Hawley, and I'm proud to say I'm the executive director of the best chamber of commerce around, the Fontana Chamber of Commerce. And I'm proud to bring you our Talk of the Town podcast with my awesome co host, Mr. Carlos Garcia of FYI Technologies. Carlos, how's it going today?
I'm doing fantastic. I always look forward to our shows.
Same. Well, this week's extra special. They're all special. I think I say that every week. I just love our guests. We have Devone Martin, Executive Director of the Joy Company with us. Devone, welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you guys doing today?
Good. Well, thanks for being here.
Fantastic.
I got to be honest, and this is like a full disclaimer. I never call you by your full name. I always call you Devo.
Yeah.
I've known Devo for, oh my gosh, since before I was married. You were actually in my wedding,
Yes,
you performed at our wedding, but you've known my husband even longer. I think back the UPS days.
yes,
All
yes.
right. So we go way back. He and his wife Donna are really amazing people. And so when you join the chamber, and I followed all of the wonderful work that you've been doing, but you're in Fontana now, so I thought our folks need to hear from you. So I wanted to start out by you first telling us about you on the personal side of things and family side, and then we'll get into your business side.
Yeah, so Devon Martin, most people know me as Devo. I've been introducing myself as Devo for like 30 years. And it was just kind of a change that I made a couple years ago. And it's been really cool to kind of make that transition. Great news. My wife and I celebrate 20 years of marriage this
Wow.
year, this June. And
Congrats.
and I'm happy to say it's been a good 20 years, right? Marriage is not always easy, but it's been a great 20 years. I've got three beautiful children. My son is 17. My last two daughters are 14 and 10. And I love being married. And I love being a dad. And it's been great. Been working in the community with youth for like many, many years. I mean, since you've known me, and it's been a wonderful journey.
That's awesome. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, as we're talking about this, I'm curious to know what the Joy Company is all about. So, why don't you tell our listeners what is this joy we keep hearing of, right?
Yes. So we're also known as Joyco. The Joy Company can be a mouthful sometimes. So we go by Joyco as well. And we have two components of what we do. We do have some faith-based components of what we do. And we have some things that we do that we're able to like have a broader range of reaching children who are maybe not faith-led or faith-driven, but we get a chance to help and care for students who are all over. And that is a big part of what we do right now. And we love it. We get a chance to work with so many kids all over. Our main goal is to just teach students how to lead and live their life with purpose. And it's just been wonderful to see the students come alive and learn leadership. Most students don't know that they are leaders or have leadership capacity in them. And we get a chance to kind of breathe on that fire a little bit and help them become great, outstanding leaders in their community and their school.
I love
That's
this.
awesome.
And I love that you guys are addressing this oftentimes in our programming in the school setting and curriculum. I do see it sometimes in schools where they focus on leadership, but I think just really driving that home, especially with the youth now and all the things that they've had to go through over these last few years, giving that purpose and that joy is just so reaffirming for them that they are
Mhm.
valuable because they may not be
Yeah,
getting that at home, right?
yeah,
Maybe they're responsible for taking care of their siblings and they don't really have those parent figures in their life that are really instilling those values into them or encouraging them. And so I think it's so great that you guys are able to do this, and you're doing this here locally, right, in Fontana.
yes. We started in San Bernardino. We're still in San Bernardino. We've branched out to even Ontario, Montclair, and now we're in Fontana, and we're also in Rialto. And
Wow.
so we've got some really exciting things that we're doing. We get a chance to work with students who are going through some pretty tough stuff, and I love working with them and just meeting them right where they are, no matter who they are or where they come from or what they look like. We get a chance to be there, listen to them, and again, like really kind of steal some leadership principles that we think will help set them up for success.
Hey, I have to tell you, I feel a little hurt and left out that you don't include Upland in this, man. You got to come to Upland too.
We're coming. Come on. We are coming. Give us a little time. We are expanding and
Right.
we're excited. One day we'll be in Upland. I just believe that.
Awesome.
Okay, he just
Yes.
opened the door, so we're going to hold you
Yeah.
to that, Carlos.
Yes.
Those of you that don't know, Carlos is a council member in Upland, so we appreciate that. But really, any opportunity that we can spread the joy and the love to our kids, because they really need it. So my question to you is, what are the most pressing issues right now for our youth? It's 2025. We're like
Yeah.
going on 5 years out of COVID. Like, what are you seeing with our kids?
We've kind of identified 4 areas that we think students really need today based on our conversations that we've had with students, based on group conversations, one-on-one mentoring and coaching that we've done with students. And we've kind of narrowed it down to 4 areas, and that's security, identity, purpose, and belonging. Students are looking for a place that they feel safe, that they can share their thoughts, their ideas, speak candidly, and know that they have a safe place to do that without the javelin of judgment coming harsh down upon them, right? So we get a chance to really hear them out and let them know that they do have a voice and we're listening. Another thing is identity. They're trying to find out, like all of us for many years, I remember when I was in middle school, especially, I was trying to figure out who I am, what's my style, where, all of those things, and they're wanting to figure out who they are, and they are on a journey. And that's a big part of what we do, even in the games and the activities that we play. We really encourage them to ask the question, what were you thinking? What were you feeling? Why were you feeling that way? What was going on in your mind? And it's really helped them. It's to help them get to know themselves, right? And we just believe that the better they know themselves, the better they can lead themselves. And that just goes for our number one principle about leading yourself well. And we want them to lead themselves well. And it does start with trying to figure out who you are, why you think the way you think, and why you feel the way you feel and about things. And so the last 2 is purpose and belonging. Students want a sense of purpose. No one really tells them how or what does purpose even look like or feel like. But we kind of just, we don't tell them what their purpose is. That's not our job. But we do try to give them some questions that they can ask and some things that they can think about where they can help them to discover their purpose, And the last one is belonging. So students love being around friends, developing good friends, having someone we're careful with the use of family, but they are looking for that kind of sense of camaraderie and family and closeness and tribe, whatever you want to give the name. But students want to know that there's a place that they belong, that they're loved and cared for by friends and by a group of peers who are kind of going in the same direction. And so those are the 4 areas that we think are really students are looking for today.
That is so amazing. I feel like there's some adults that would benefit from this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's great. Like even growing up, some of what you're talking about actually applied to sports, right? Being part of a sports team and all that. But your vision and everything that you're doing with the Joy Company would have been great also for a lot of us growing up that didn't have that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Even though some of us turned out well, some of us still need a lot of work, but we could still utilize some of that as well.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this too. So you talked a little bit about this, but what are your plans for the future?
Yeah, I mean, we're at a place now where we're going, okay, what does it look like to lock in on what we're doing? I feel like we're developing a winning model for reaching students and impacting their lives. And we're looking at now, it's like, what does it look like to scale? What does it look like to take this into every school in California and then every school in the nation? Like, how do we do that? And it's been really fun, even connecting with business owners, successful business owners in the chamber who are, 10 steps ahead of me. And how cool is it that I get a chance to go kind of rub shoulders with them, build a relationship, and ask some questions. And it's
Mhm.
been really fun because I've already had a chance to sit down with a couple people that I've met at like business mixers and luncheons, and had a chance to somewhat sit at their feet and just say, hey, this is where we are. What are your thoughts? What are some good next steps for us as we try to expand into more schools? So we want to expand into more schools. Eventually, would like to start doing more some classes for parents, because that's a big part of reaching youth. And so it's not good enough to just go like, hey, we want to reach the youth. What we're realizing, there's other components and other layers to reaching the youth and helping that youth become all that they are, designed to be. And
Mhm.
so we want to start connecting with parents and say, hey, here, for example, just this morning, I was, thinking about some of the skills of what it means to be an active listener, and some of those active listening skills. And as I began to think about that, I just thought, man, there's a lot of things that I wish I had learned as a new dad, almost 20 years ago, 17 years ago with my older son. And what if I had better, listening skills, right? My middle daughter, she's precious. That's my Devon. She's amazing, but man, she can be spicy. And she could come with some answers, and I think that I could benefit, or I would have benefited back then more, if I had those active listening skills, and not just talking, but being able to listen and ask questions. And so I think a lot of parents could use just a few nuggets, a few essential tools that I think would help them just lead their children better. So just a little glimpse of where we're going.
I love this so, so, so much. And I love getting to the core of things, right? Instead of being reactive, but being proactive. And like you
Yeah.
said, you can plant all the seeds and have all the great conversations with the kids, and that work is impactful and amazing. And then to be able to follow that up, right, with
Hmm.
those that are taking care of our youth, and really equipping and empowering them to be set up for success. Because I don't have children myself, but I was a teacher for a number of years,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
kids don't come with the owner's manual, and they're all different. They're all so
They're
different
all different. Yes.
personalities, and how they respond. And like you said, some are a little spicier than others.
Yeah.
But how do we, really just cultivate them into being successful, productive adults? And
Yes.
um, just thinking on the chamber side, this is our future workforce, right? Like the kids
Right.
that you're touching every day in the schools, and investing into their lives. Eventually, they might be taking care of us when we're older and making decisions that impact us. And so, how are we setting them up to be successful, productive members
Yes.
of society? And I think it's so great that we have folks like the Joy Company really just making a big impact here within our community. I want to touch back on something that you said about joining the chamber. And this is kind of a thought that my team and I have been going around. And we've really been asking our members, why did you join the chamber? And I love what you shared about taking advantage of the networking opportunities and making those meaningful connections. And that's something I tell all of our members. We will provide the forum and the platform for you to
Hmm.
network and
Hmm.
share about your business and the great work that you're doing, and learn from other folks, but you have to show up. And that's exactly what you're doing. Since you guys are fairly new to the chamber,
Yes.
but not new to Fontana. You
Right.
guys have been around, and so I just want to commend you. You're the model of like what I try to tell everybody. Don't just join and then we never see you again. You have to show up. Relationships take work, but these are opportunities for you to connect with like-minded individuals.
Yes. It's been great. It honestly has been great. Fontana's been great. Been a
Mhm.
great experience. There's a lot of synergy that's happening within the chamber. Um, and what I'm finding is that there are even a lot of people like me. There are some first-time business owners, some people who have been around a while. Joico, we've been around going on 7 years now, but it feels, we're still in that baby infant stage. It feels like we're reaching hundreds, of, even thousands, really, when you look at the spectrum of kids that we reach in a year. Um, and it just still feels like, man, I have so much to learn.
Mm.
We've got great stories and of impact and what's happening with students. I get students that come up to me, in a store or at a burger joint or whatever, and some have graduated and moved on, and they will connect with me and talk with me. And sometimes they're in tears because of, sometimes you don't know the impact that you're making on a student's life until years later when they're reflecting and remembering those moments that impacted them the most. And so being in the chamber has really stirred me up, has encouraged me to keep going, and just to even be able to hear some of these other entrepreneurs and business leaders to hear their stories has been a real huge encouragement to me to press on, to get ready, to expand, to build. So very valuable. Not even trying to really do a plug. I didn't really come to do a plug for the chamber, but I seriously, it just has been really impactful to
Mm.
me. And I know you've been doing the chamber thing for a while now, and I wish I would have connected years ago, years
Mm.
ago. And
Mm.
so we're here, we're doing our thing. I
Mhm.
love youth. I love reaching youth, building a life with the youth. A lot of my time over the last couple of years has kind of been heads down, connecting with the youth. It's been, hey, we gotta impact these youth. We gotta impact this youth. And we've spent a lot of time connecting with youth. And so now we're kind of at a place where we're realizing, oh, wow, there's some top layers here
Mhm.
that we're not uh, doing our job on. And
Mhm.
it's really connecting with business partners, business allies in the city, councilmen, Brother Carlos, and um, mayors and different people,
Mhm.
because these people have experience, like Danielle, like yourself, your teachers, like connecting with all these people who have had these experiences in the city, whether it be through grants or opportunities or maybe other nonprofits that do work with youth. And so there's just a great, if you're passionate about what you do, if you believe in what you do, I think it would benefit greatly to begin to find those allies and
Mm.
people who can come alongside of you to support you in what you do. And I feel like that's what's being done for us. And it's just been great.
Preach it.
Yeah.
I love it. So good to hear.
All right.
So what
So what do you
events you guys, sorry,
go ahead.
go ahead. So what events do you guys have planned for this year?
So yeah, lots of things going on. Our main heart is our leadership club. That's our after school program that we do with the kids in the schools. And we one of the things we just started doing is we're starting to do Friday special guest speakers. So we get guest speakers who will come to. Right now, we're just doing it at A.B. Miller High School in Fontana, but we'll have guest speakers who will come from the city and and present to the students. And so those are kind of some of our smaller events where we open it up to all the students on the campus, and not just the students who attend Leadership Club on an everyday basis, but we get a chance to invite them and share their career, begin to ask questions. And so we've had everything from FBI agents and police officers and entrepreneurs and teachers and life coaches and physical therapists. We've had a good gamut of speakers so far. And so we have those going every Friday. We have an event that we're doing to connect with parents. We're going to give some free barbecue to some parents coming up. We're going to do it at A.B. Miller High School. And this actually is an event for us to connect with parents. And so, hey, you're going to love this. So there's a good, I call him a good friend now. We've been talking, met him at a business mixer. His name is Jared, and he has a barbecue business, and he's an inventor, and he made some kind of sauce mop or whatever they call it, right? And we've connected. I begin to say, hey, tell me about your business. And he told me about his business and idea. So long story short, he's actually going to come. He's going to cook. He got the food donated for us to give away. So he's going to come cook some barbecue. We're going to talk to the parents about connecting on campus, volunteering on campus, getting involved. And so So that's one of the events we have coming up. We have some big rallies and we have exciting events that we're doing with the students. We haven't set a date yet, but we are doing a T3 event. It'll be our big final one for the school year. Now, you're going to love this. Love this. The students love this and the teachers love this. We do something called T3. It stands for Teens Teaching Teens. And part of our learning and teaching model is to have students reteach the things that they are learning in the lesson. So we'll play these games and we'll have discussions, but at the end of the day, we give them a little worksheet and we'll say, okay, who wants to teach? All right. And so we give them like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to reteach the lesson. All right. As opposed to just saying, tell me what you learned. We want them to actually teach it like we've never heard it. And so we get a chance to have students reteach the lessons. And so they practice this for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then we do the T3 event where it's just them and they get up kind of like a TED Talk style teaching moment where they invite the parents and the teachers will show up and they'll invite their friends and they one by one will get up. They share their moment, they share a personal experience, and then they talk about how this one principle is helping them or could have helped them in this experience. And so we haven't set a date for that, but it's coming up in a couple weeks. And I can go on and on, but I think those are some really good ones that if you want to try to connect with us on, we'd love to have you be there.
Hey, real quick, because I know we're at the tail end of this episode, but sign me up for your guest speakers, man. I would love to be a part of that.
Yes.
And like I said, just to wrap this up a little bit, can you tell our listeners where they can connect with you?
Yeah, our website is joyco.info. And again, you're going to get a little bit of everything on there. There's some faith-based stuff on there. But for specifically connecting with us or to get information about our non-faith-based program, which is the Leadership Club, you want to go to leadershipclub.net, and you can see a little bit about our program, our after-school program there. You can see some of the T3s, a little bit of a sample of the T3s there. You can see some of the games that we play with the students. We love our after-school program, mostly because there's no boundaries to the students that I could reach and help and assist. And so, and I wanted to do everything I could to remove those boundaries. And so if there's a student that wants help, if a student wants to come, learn, grow, get those things we mentioned about security, identity, belonging, and purpose, we want to create that opportunity for them. So again, leadershipclub.net, you can go there. We're also on social media. You can find us on Facebook. You can type in the Joy Company or Joyco. And but lots of and on Instagram, and I think it's _Joy Company, _Joy Company, and you can catch us there on social media as well.
Awesome. And for all of our listeners, I know, Carlos, you just volunteered. We have so many chamber members that this would be a great opportunity for you to come in and speak to our students. So if you're interested, we just gave you all the ways to connect. You can call the chamber office as well, and we'll point you in the right direction. But Devone, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Welcome to the chamber family. I love hearing everyone's story is unique, but it just thrills my heart to hear how the chamber has been a blessing to you and your business and the connections that you've made within the community. Carlos, thank you again for making it happen. You're our guy here for all things technology. A quick plug for Carlos. He also has his own company, FYI Technologies. And so if technology makes you cry, call FYI, right?
She's got it down. All right.
I have Carlos. So, because I would not even know how to do all of this. I just show up. So thank you, Carlos, for all that you do. And again, Devone, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And to all of our listeners, we are back. This is season 2, episode 3. So catch us every week. Our new episodes drop every Tuesday at 10 a.m. You can catch us on all major streaming platforms and YouTube. So until next time, we'll see you later. And thank you again to our wonderful, wonderful guests. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a great day.